guys, I am going to do the box opening video for Felicity. The modern era, I think they're 14.5-inch dolls. So if you've seen in my previous video, my husband got Kirsten and Felicity for me. And if you follow my channel, you know I got Molly right away. My mom pre-ordered her for me for Valentine's Day and Easter. Unfortunately, Molly is missing her glasses. I have looked all over this house. I am starting to accept the fate that I believe Nebula knocked them off her face, or they fell off her face. Nebula played with them and took them off the shelf she was on, and Digger got them. That is the only thing I can think of happening. I swear that they were on her face when I put her up there, but those that have the modern era Molly know that those glasses are insufferable. They don't stay on her. They don't have like hooks around the ears or anything to keep them on her better, which I would think, because these are smaller dolls, so I would assume they're like trying to appeal to younger kids. They're gonna lose those. So anyways, he, for Mother's Day, got me Felicity and Kirsten. My son wants Josephine, so he's getting that for Christmas. And my daughter wants Samantha, so she's getting that for Christmas. And then all that's left is Addie, which my husband said he'll probably get me for my birthday. Or our anniversary. Because at the time of Mother's Day, Addie was unavailable. Of the ones that I needed, which were Kirsten, Felicity, and Addie, since my kids wanted the other two. And as much as I love Sam, which is kind of funny because I'm not a big Samantha person. And even at that, like Felicity, I'm not a big Felicity. I'm not a horse girly. I mean, I have Felicity, a PC Felicity, and a good chunk of her collection. At one point, I pretty much had most of her collection. So when I got back into American Girl as an adult, I kind of went back and forth as an adult. I've always been into dolls, especially since I met my husband. The first time he was stationed in the Air Force in Minot. I was living in Fargo at the time. So the first time I drove out to Minot to see him and spend a weekend with him, we went to the mall there, and there was this doll store or like a pop-up shop, because this was right after Christmas, that was like My Way Baby or something along those lines. And one of them caught my attention, and so he was my boyfriend at the time, bought me the one doll. And then I was looking to get, okay, so I'll back a little bit further up. In high school, I had baby Think It Over dolls as the projects in high school, since they're the school dolls. My class had the Gen 4 and Gen 5s. The year after I graduated, my teacher got a grant to get the original Real Care, or G6, as what it got dubbed later on. And so anyways, I had wanted one of them really badly after taking the class. Like, honestly, it did not curb me from not wanting kids, put it that way. I loved the dolls. So at the time, though, they did not sell to the general public, and I didn't have that kind of money at the time. So anyways, my freshman year in high school, I was taking a speech and debate class, and my topic was teen pregnancy. And so I talked about the Baby Think It Over dolls in my speech. Where did I put that? I'm going to grab the garbage quick, guys, because I have the cats in here. But in my speech, I was talking about Baby Think It Overs, and I got some like statistics from, I think it was just Baby Think It Over at the time. I don't think it was Reality Works yet. But I got some information from them, and I was able to write my paper and do my argument on, you know, tools and things that schools were doing to help reduce teen pregnancy. And I was talking to my teacher about, I was getting information from my high school teacher as well, and she offered to borrow me one of her new Real Care babies because, like I said, my senior year, she got a grant to upgrade the school's dolls from the Generation 4 and Generation 5s to the new and improved Real Cares. And so she had just got them in. She hadn't even sent them home with kids yet. And she's like, you know what? If you'll do this for me, can you take it for maybe 2 or 3 days and test it out for me? So I'm like, sure. So I went and picked the doll up. She activated it, did everything like she would to run a simulation for a class or a student. I took it home, did my speech, and luckily my parents were gone for the weekend, so I had it from Thursday afternoon to Monday morning. And my speech was Friday afternoon. No, Friday morning to Monday morning is what it was. I had it over the weekend. And my parents were gone for the weekend, so they didn't have to listen to a cry all weekend. But I enjoyed the Real Care. I had a lot of fun with it. And it's like, this makes me want one even more. And I'm like, oh, these are going to be super expensive. So fast forward to, we see this My Way baby. And I'm like, it's not a Baby Think It Over. It's not an electronic baby, but you know what? It's super cute. It reminded me of my husband, boyfriend at the time. And like you could essentially design a baby. That's kind of the premise, My Way baby. Like you could pick the face mold, the hair color, the eye color, hairstyle for the wig. And then I'm trying to remember what other choices I had with it. Felicity's coming out a lot easier than Molly. But the one that we got was actually pre-made. It was a display one, so they were closing down the kiosk for the season, and so I was able to get it at a really good discount. And I ended up buying more than just the doll. I got the doll and a few other things to go, like a couple other outfits. And then a cute pair of shoes and glasses, because my husband wears those glasses. So I got all this stuff, and I get home with him, super excited about him. And I have remembered when I was at Toys R Us with my cousin's son that they had these Graco. I'm trying not to cut our hair, that's why it's taking forever. They had these Graco. They had some Graco doll pack and plays, because I'm like, I don't want a full-size pack and play in my room, because this doll's it's a realistic size baby. I did not want I did not want a full-size. I was living at home, and I knew my parents were going to make comments about me having this doll to begin with. So I'm like, if I have a pack and play or something like that, they're really going to make comments. But I thought, you know what, if I got this doll size pack and play, I can like pop it up and down. I can put the doll in it, like if I want to do stuff, like play with the doll, whatnot. And so I went on Toys R Us website. Okay, guys, and I'm telling a story, but for those that are interested that love hair net removals, there we go. So I went on Toys R Us website, and I was looking at this Graco pack and play for dolls, doll size pack and play, and I'm trying to find where push the things in her head. So I'm reading the reviews on it because I want to see, because this doll, it wasn't like heavy, but it did have some weight to it. And I just wanted to read the reviews to make sure that this pack and play would hold the weight of the doll. And one of the reviews mentioned a neonate, an electronic neonate doll. And that intrigued me. So I Googled that. Actually, I don't think I Googled it. I think I Yahooed that precursor to Google. Searched it, and the Saluo Spirit neonate website popped up, and I saw that these were identical dolls to the Baby Think It Over, and I fell in love. And then I noticed they were going out of business. Not only were they going out of business, they were closing like the next week. And like, I was devastated. I literally called my now husband crying. Like, oh my God, I found my perfect doll, my dream doll, and they're closing. And he's like, how much? Well, unfortunately, at this point, they were completely out of electronic neonates. They were sold out. Like, I actually emailed the owner, and because he's like, email and see if there's like one in a back room or something. So I actually emailed the owner, and she like double, triple checked for me to see if they had any electronic neonates like hiding somewhere. Because I'm like, I don't care if it's a boy, I don't care if it's a girl, I don't care what race it is, I just want this electronic doll. And unfortunately, she didn't have any, and she's like, okay, we have a bunch of the weighted neonates. They're not electronic, they're just like a mannequin, but we do have those available, but they are selling fast. And she goes, what one, if you could pick one, which one would you like, to see if we still have that in stock? So I'm like, you know what, Caucasian boy. If I could pick, that's what I want. And she had one left in stock, so she put it on hold. My boyfriend tried, or he called, and he was having problems. Of course, this was on over the phone, so it was credit card only. And the only credit card I had at the time was a Discover card, and they unfortunately did not take Discover. And my husband at the time did not even have a credit card. So like, I was devastated that I was going to lose this doll, and I literally called my best friend at the time crying. And she was just as crazy as I was. Like, literally in high school, her and I bought they weren't really twins, we both bought a Cabbage Patch Kid. It was like one that you could take in the bathtub and stuff. We both bought a Cabbage Patch Kid, and we played with those stupid little Cabbage Patch Kids. They were hard plastic body, and like I said, you could take them into, they were meant to take into the bathtub. But her and I, we literally took it swimming. We were in high school. We put on bathing suits and like ran around in the sprinkler in my parents' backyard in high school with our Cabbage Patch Kids. So she was kind of crazy like I was. And so she's like, you know what? She goes, I have a credit card. Don't worry, how much is it? Told her like everything that I wanted to order, came to $100 shipped. And she's like, no problem. So she went ahead and called and ordered the baby for me. And that started this craziness. After that, I acquired more neonates throughout the years. I still have one. I did eventually acquire a few different electronic neonates throughout the year. I have one now, and then I have 4, I believe. I have 4 traditional neonates, which are the non-electronic ones. I have 1 unweighted and 3 weighted. But I have, like, they each came in a different okay. For the girls, if you picked a girl, it came in a pink outfit. If you picked a boy, it came in a blue outfit. If you want, you could let the stork pick. And if you got a girl, it came in a yellow outfit. And if you got a boy, it came in a green outfit if you let the stork pick. For the electronic neonate, same thing. Girls got red, boys got blue. And then I think it was green was the stork picked ones. So, and then I got some baby think-it-overs throughout the years as well. Have plenty of those still. But I collected those in most of my adult life. That's how I met Crystal from Life with Crystal. Was through a neonate Yahoo group that she started. And I want to say the owner was named Dawn. I'm not 100%. Of Sluo Spirit, the neonates website. But at like the last month or so, she was advertising Crystal's group for people who had the neonates, and if they wanted to why Crystal made it so that we could be supportive of each other with our dolls. And I saw that, so I joined the group, and Crystal and I hit it off right away. And then that's more and more were joining. Her and I got along so well. She ended up making me a moderator. And the rest is history. She is my bestie. We've known each other for 24 years now. This was 2002, I think. Yeah. 2002. Yeah, 24 years. Her and I have been friends. She's my bestie. She's one of the people that I've ran to for the last 25 years. Even though she's not near me physically, we talk, and it'll be we can go a week without messaging each other, and then one of us just messages each other, and it's there was never a pause for a week. I know when she was sick last year, some of the messages due to her being sick were kind of more checking up on her to see if she was okay, and it was kind of shorter messages, but still whenever we talk, it's not skipping a beat. But anyway, so I had all those. I had my son. I packed all of that away. But before that, when my husband was in Iraq, I found out, I had Molly from when I was a kid. When my husband was in Iraq, I found out that American Girl had come out with friend dolls, and Molly had a friend named Emily. And for my birthday, I was on a phone call with my husband, and I just purely mentioned this. It was almost in passing, my Molly doll. And he's like, yeah. I collected, while he was in Iraq, I was collecting dolls still, but they were lifelike baby dolls. And I said, yeah, I just found out that they came out with her best friend, Emily. Well, that got the gears turning in his little head, and for my birthday that year, he actually ordered Emily for me. So I had Molly and Emily. I did end up gifting Emily to my daughter for Christmas one year. So she's now part of my daughter's collection. She would become my daughter's anyways at some point. But, so I just had those 2 dolls for the longest time. In 2009, after he came back from Iraq, we went to the American Girl store at the Mall of America. That is where Crystal got her first American Girl doll, Julie. I wanted to go into the American Girl store because I wanted to get Molly I wanted to get Emily's Christmas outfit was one of the things, and I wanted to get one of Molly's outfits, and I think I got her, not her ice skating outfit. What did I get her? Oh, I got the outfit that was like the teal sweater with the plaid skirt, I believe, is the outfit I got Molly when we went there. And then when we went up front to pay, they had their American Girl place exclusive. So I got 2 t-shirts since I had Molly and I had Emily. One said American Girl, Mall of America, with like the American Girl star. It's not on this spot. Oh yeah, it's like, has like this star. It was pink with a maroon star on it. And the other one was the same t-shirt, same color. It just said American Girl and it had a white glitter butterfly on it. And then I got some capris and then some shoes for them. So they each got an outfit from their collection, and they each got exclusive, like the exclusive like clog like tennis shoes, the exclusive capris, and the exclusive t-shirts that were just, they weren't sold online. They were just sold in store. And so I picked up that stuff, and Crystal, I believe, bought like a little mini, I think she bought mini Julie while we were there for Haley, her, at that time, I think by then Crystal had got a Real Care 2 Plus. I think she initially started out with Haley. We had our first meetup, her first Haley she had was an electronic neonate, and she ended up selling that and getting a Real Care 2 Plus that she got a Caucasian girl as well, so she just rolled the name over. And I think she had the Real Care at that point. So she's like, oh, I'll get the little mini. She fell in love with Julie, and she's like, I'll get the mini Julie for my doll. And she kept thinking about the full-size Julie. And we went to a few other stores, bought some more stuff. And my husband at the time, well, he's still my husband, but at the time, the Mall of America actually had like this store that had NASCAR simulators, and my husband loved that place. And he always loved to do the simulators. I get motion sick in those things because you sit in it and it like rocks, and like if you crash, it doesn't flip, but it like jerks you. It just, I could not. I tried once and almost threw up and had to stop halfway. Luckily they gave me a refund because of that, but after that my husband would just do it, and obviously there was a lot more people, so it's not like he was doing this alone. So Crystal and I are sitting waiting in like the stands that they had set up for people that wanted to watch, or like in our case, my husband was doing it and we were just watching the race because you could watch on the TVs above. And she had grabbed an American Girl catalog, and the whole time she sat there looking at the picture of Julie. And then she's like, you know what? Can we go back to the store? I think I'm going to return my mini one. And I'm like, oh, you don't like her? And she's like, no, I think I'm going to get the full-size one. And so we went back to the store. She did end up getting the full-size Julie. I don't remember. Did you return the mini Crystal? The mini Julie Crystal? I can't remember if she returned it or not, but then she got, she didn't get the capris or the shoes because Julie came in jeans at that time. But she did get one of the t-shirts that said Mall of America on it for Julie. And we had pictures of the 3 dolls dressed. So I just had the 3 dolls. I didn't really do much with Molly and Emily. They sat on a shelf in our bedroom. Fast forward, get pregnant, have my son. Get pregnant with my daughter, have my daughter, and she's about 2. And her nickname at the time was Lainey. And I found out that one of the girls of the year's name was Lainey, and like it was over. I was in search of this doll because I'm like, oh my gosh, she needs this doll. And luckily, my local consignment shop that I loved in town had what they used to have, what was called American Girl Day, and they would save up stuff for like 6 months. Sabbath. they would save up things that people would bring in to sell or consign for a few months. It was like 3 to 6 months. They would just store it, and then they would close the store. Actually, they got to the point where they started renting one of the empty units in the strip mall for a day, and they would set everything up. It was probably a couple days to set everything up, and then this random Saturday they would pick, like, you could go in and shop and get some pretty good deals. And like, my mom and I showed up. I found out they were gonna have a Laney, and my mom and I showed up. It was freezing cold, and we showed up 3 hours early because I'm like, I'm getting this doll. I need to get this doll. I need to get this doll. And so my mom thought I was crazy, but she went with me. And when we pulled up, there was a group of 3 ladies already waiting. And like, my heart sank. I'm like, oh, I'm not getting this doll. I'm like, I was about bawling. My mom's like, no, let's go get in line. So my mom and I get out. We bundle up. We go get in line. These ladies are bundled up as well. We even had camping chairs, like all of us did. So we're kind of sitting in this line in our camping chairs, talking, and one of the ladies asked, like, is everybody here for something specific? Are we just looking? Like, blah, blah. And one lady said she was there for a specific doll because they had shown a bunch of the dolls already. And I'm like, I really want to get Lainey. It'll be my daughter's first doll, first American Girl doll. And I said it's her nickname, and it's it was the girl of the year my son was born. And this one lady in front of me gets this look on her face, and she's like, you know what? She goes, I was thinking of getting that one, but I'm going to let you take it because it's going to mean a lot more to you than it will be my daughter. I can tell her that somebody else got it before me because she picked 4 dolls that she wanted. I'm only buying 1. And she goes, so I'll grab her second choice. And she goes, besides, her second choice looks more like her. I don't know why she picked that one. So that I was like so grateful to this lady saying that. So we get in there. I go instantly to the dolls. She actually asked for the doll that she bought, and then she was like the second person in line. No, she was first. So she got to pick what she wanted first. So she actually grabbed Lainey first, and then she turned around and handed it to me. The other 2 ladies that were in between us, they didn't say anything, but later she goes, when we were discussing it, she goes, I got a feeling one of those, because she wasn't with them, she goes, one of those 2 were trying to get it, or they were going to try to get it, buy it, and then, hey, I just paid $40 for this doll, but I'll sell it to you for $60 type thing. She goes, I was getting a feeling off of them. And she goes, so I wanted to make sure you got it. And so for that, I was super thankful, and I got a bunch of other stuff. And that got me like all excited about American Girl again. And my best friend growing up from middle school on up, she had an extensive American Girl collection. She had Molly's complete collection. She had Addie's complete collection. She had most of Molly's, most of Kirsten. She had Kirsten's complete collection and Addie's complete collection. She had most of Molly and most of Samantha and a bunch of Felicity and a little bit of Josephine. So she had the original 6. She actually had the dolls. I have her Kirsten doll and I had her Samantha doll, but her Samantha doll, the weave or the wefts in her wig came undone at some point. And so just before they came out with the Be Forever Samantha, I sent her into the doll hospital, not knowing what to expect. This was back when they had better warranties on their dolls. So I sent her into the doll hospital, and American Girl actually sent me a completely brand new, it ended up being a Be Forever Samantha. So unfortunately, I don't have her original Samantha. I have a Samantha, but I do have her original Kirsten. That's why Kirsten's hair wasn't in that great of shape either. They were stored in her basement, at her parents' house, and the basement flooded at some point. And so while the dolls didn't mold, the moisture did something to their hair, and their hair was horrible. And I can't remember if I got my Addie from her or if my husband bought my Addie for me. But anyways, she was needing some money, and she posted on Facebook one day. She's like, would anybody be interested in some American Girl stuff? Her daughter's name is afraid of them and says they're going to kill her, so we need to get rid of them, and I could use the cash if we're going to be honest. And so I talked to my husband, and her and I agreed on a price for everything she could find. Like, it was a huge box. Like, it was Kirsten's table. It was like 1986 Kirsten's table with chairs. The whole table place setting down here in this bedroom has Kirsten's bed. That is actually a 1986 Kirsten's bed. Unfortunately, the truck was on the floor, so it did get ruined in the flood. It absorbed too much of the water. Same for the basically all the trunks were on the floor, and while the clothes were salvaged and they were able to dry the clothes out, all the trunks sustained too much moisture in them, and they were beyond repair. So unfortunately, those had to get trashed. Her Molly doll had to get trashed. That was growing mold on it. Josephine was growing mold on her, and so was Felicity. But I had a whole bunch of like rare outfits. Like, I kick myself. I didn't do much research. I kept most of the stuff, not everything, but most of the stuff. I kept all her Molly stuff. I kept all Samantha, and I kept all Kirsten, except for Kirsten's table with chairs and then the place setting on it. And that was just because I didn't have room to display it anywhere. And so I honestly sold everything that I did sell for just over the price of what they initially retailed for. Like, I didn't know at the time that like you could go on eBay and search like sold listings and see how much something was selling for. And I majorly kicked myself. One of Addie's outfits that I ended up selling was the patriotic outfit, complete with sash and the scroll and the ribbon on the scroll. Like, the scroll had never been undone. The Addie's stilt outfit I sold. I'm like making myself sick thinking about this. Felicity's spinner outfit, including the original stick pins that had never been removed from the cardboard. Now, mind you, her parents, every year for her birthday and Christmas, her birthday was just before Christmas, she would get a huge American Girl haul at her birthday, and then she'd get another bunch at Christmas. And in 1986, for her birthday, she got Kirsten, Samantha, Molly with their trunks and their beds. All three of them, she got the beds and trunks. And then for Christmas, she got, I think they're basically between Christmas and her birthday in 1986, she got everything that was available from the American Girl catalog, or the Pleasant Company catalog, for American Girl dolls. And then when they came out with Felicity in 1981, same thing. She got everything between Christmas and her birthday that was available. In between those times, as they were coming out with new things for the dolls, her parents would buy them. So she had an extensive collection. Like, when her and I met in 6th grade and she showed me she had, like, I went over to her house for the first time. She had told me she had some she literally nonchalantly had mentioned she had some American Girl dolls. And the first time I went over to her house, she had this whole corner of their living room that had the beds, the trunks, the tables, the chairs. I was in awe. I was like, oh my gosh, this is my dream. I've got Molly with like 2 AG outfits. I literally had her school outfit with her school bag and her after school outfit. That was it. And those were, I got the doll for my birthday one year, and those 2 outfits I earned, I paid for myself. And so she had this extensive collection, and she sold me sold me everything except for like 1 or 2 outfits, like Samantha's midday outfit. I wish I could have got that one because I loved that outfit. I still love that outfit. And I still don't have that outfit. But there was a few outfits another friend of hers asked if they could buy, and so she ended up selling them to them. And basically the stuff that I sold paid for the rest of the stuff that I kept. And like I said, it was a big box. And then later on she called me, she's like, oh yeah, I was going through my parents' basement again and I found more. I've got another garbage bag full for you. And it was like, oh my God. And in the garbage bag, like, had a lot of the pieces. I was trying to piece things together before, and it had a lot of the missing pieces for things. So anyways, I pretty much sold off all of the Felicity stuff because at that point I just wanted Samantha, Molly, and Kirsten, and I just wanted their collections. But then the more I thought about it, I'm like, oh my God, Addie, I fell in love with Addie the moment she came out as a doll. I have the original set of 3 books that came out because How American Girl did it. They came out with 3 books, and then 6 months later it came out with the other 3 books. So I have 2 box sets of Addie's books because one is 1 through 3 and the other is 4 through 6. And my mom bought that first set of books, and I started reading, and I was in love with Addie. Like, Addie was like a girl crush to me at that point. And it was if I hadn't picked Molly a few years before, I would have picked Addie. Like, I begged my parents, like, I don't want any other Christmas presents this year. I just want Addie. And unfortunately, they wouldn't buy me Addie. So I'm like, okay, when she had all the stuff and had a bunch of Addie stuff, I'm like, okay, well, if I'm going to get Addie and have a bunch of Addie collection, excuse you. Sorry, Sabbath's biting me down here. I'm like, I'm going to have to get Felicity. And I'm not a big Felicity person, is where I'm going with this story. And so I kept some of Felicity's stuff. So not everything in my Felicity collection is stuff. Like I said, I sold the spinner outfit on my Felicity. I got the Felicity secondhand. The outfit that she's wearing actually is the dress that I got from my friend. I kept parts of Felicity's collection and sold off the rest. And then like I said, she had a bunch of Josefina stuff, and I just sold all the Josefina stuff because I'm like, I have no interest in a Josephine. I'm still not a big Josephine fan. She's somewhere up here with my son's stuff because he eventually wanted her, so he has Josephine. That's why he wants the modern day era Josephine, because he really loves Josephine, and she was one of his original dolls. Little Kobe right there. That was his first doll, and I think after that, who did we get? I have like a picture of him when he just had 3 American Girl dolls. I'm trying to remember. I know Josephine was one of those 3. I don't think Isabel came last. I gotta see who. I don't remember who he has. Who all does he have? I think it was Julie. I think he had Julie, Josephine, and his custom boy doll. Those were the 3 he had. His first 3. And so he has her. He loved her. Loved her story. He has some of her things from her collection, but not a whole lot. But anyways, this has gotten really long. So that's how I got back into American Girl, and it's just been a snowball since then. I did end up getting a Felicity when we moved to Texas. And like I said, I still had some of her collection from my friend when she sold it to me. And then once we moved here, I want to say it was a marketplace find. I don't know if I have a video. I might have a video on my channel about it. Like, I got a pretty good sized Felicity haul, and I can't remember if I got that on marketplace or at the consignment sale. But I got like her stable, I think her horse Penny, I believe it's Patriot the foal, and I got most of the pieces to that. So I still have that. It's packed away along with her horses. I'm not a horse girl, and the horses take up a lot of room. Yes, I have the Clydesdale up there, and my kids had 4 horses, and they decided to get rid of 3, but they can't get rid of the Clydesdale, although my daughter is dreaming at some point to get the carriage to go with the Clydesdale, so I think that's why she doesn't want to get rid of it. Because somebody local actually was selling the carriage itself, but it's missing the Clydesdale. But I do have Felicity now, so I do have the initial 5, in my opinion. Not that I exclude Josephine, but to me, she's not part of the original, because I'm going back to the OG where it's 3, but then I got Addie, so I got to put Felicity in. So that's why Josephine gets excluded, as well as Josephine's my dad. Or not my dad's, my son's. But anyways, so we've got Josephine, oh my gosh, Felicity out of the package. She is beautiful. She is better than I expected. Like, I love her eyes. I know a lot of people don't like her eyes because they said they were like too reptilian, but she's got this cute, like almost satiny top that has the, I think it's rosebud pattern that is on her OG dress, with this cute little, it's almost like a tunic type top, and it's got like this pink detail with almost like a weave on it. Okay, I'm gonna grab her purse before it falls and like put her closer to the camera so hopefully you can see it. She's got her red necklace, her red pearl necklace on. She's got this beautiful red hair. Like, actually, I think her original red hair on the one I have is a little more blonde, not blondish, maybe brownish red, and this is like red. I love this hair, and it's got like this curl to it, and it is soft. I know a lot of people don't like the hair because they said it feels cheap compared to the wigs because it's rooted, but to me it's super silky and soft. And her hair is done up in like this half up, half down ponytail. Super cute. And she's got these cute jeans with the 2 little pink bows. And then she's got, for her shoes, these cute little pink cowboy boots. She is a horse girly. I love this outfit. I think she's adorable. Like I said, she's got these beautiful green eyes to me. And then she also comes with this cute little handbag that has a little horse charm on it. Super cute detail to include her horse in it. I just love the fact that Felicity got her pants. Now, even though I wasn't a Felicity girly, I wasn't a horse girl, I did read the books as a kid. I know in the storyline that Felicity wanted pants, and that's why she does have in her collection her riding outfit, or not riding outfit, is it? There's one outfit in her collection that does include pants for her. And so I just love the fact that they gave her pants and didn't just go straight with like a dress or a skirt for her, because it was part of her storyline of wanting pants. But she's super cute. I'm glad to have her in my collection. She will go up on the shelf with Molly. I might have to put the purse somewhere, or I might grab, I know what I'll do. I've got those clear elastics for hair. So in case anybody else has this issue too, I just have a container of clear elastics, like for when you do their hair. And I think what I'm going to do is loop it around the handbag and pull it up her arm so that it'll like anchor it better to make it tighter, because it's going to fall off. And I don't need, I mean, obviously this little handbag's probably going to be more apparent than missing Molly's glasses. But yeah, now she can hold her handbag. So I just looped it around the handle. And if I really wanted to, I can, you know, put it up her arm and have it like that. But I'm going to put it in her hand instead. I thought that looks cuter. Yeah, her hair got caught in it. So it looks like she's holding her handbag, because like Molly's is a little wristlet, so it's in her hand too. So I know this video got super long, a lot longer than I wanted it to be, because I was telling the story of me getting back into HE. So I hope everybody has a great day, and I will see you all later. Bye.